think my most immediate goal is to try to be on the White House card.
Okay.
And
you talking to Dana? How's he feeling?
You know, I'm giving Dana his space. You know, Dana has changed my life.
Yes, he
has changed my life. He's changed my children's lives.
Yeah.
I'm forever grateful to him. And we had a verbal agreement that didn't go over well. Nothing was finalized. I do admit guilt, not guilt, but I was wrong.
You'll make it right at the White House.
But the way things went down, I was wrong, and I wish that I could see him face to face and just apologize to him, and so that we can let bygones be bygones and get back to making some major money for the sport and really entertaining these fans. When he's feeling me, I think I'm one of his favorite fighters. Yeah. When he's not feeling me, probably the reason why he has a bald head.
Jon Jones finally opened up and said he regretted how the whole Tom Aspinall situation went down. He even mentioned wanting to apologize to Dana White in person. Apparently, they had a verbal agreement that just didn't go smoothly, and Jones admitted it was his fault. He added that nothing was officially finalized. But for now, he's giving Dan some space. Hopefully, that apology happens in person soon.
And Tom, when Tom gets hurt, it's like he's like immediately incapacitated. Immediately.
He shut down.
It's like he poked my eye and then he's like immediately. There's no like.
He never tried to look. It was rag on the eye immediately.
Dude, I was been the silliest looking cat on national TV, just
trying. He didn't try. He didn't try.
Same thing with Curtis Blaze. When he hurt his knee, there was no limping. There was no trying to get up. It was just like immediately.
Yep.
Burn my village. I can't go on.
He doesn't have the dog in him. Yeah, that kill or be killed.
Immediately quits.
Yeah.
When he got tapped out with an ankle lock, there was no trying to fight his hands. There was no trying to. He immediately quit.
You see the pattern of it.
Immediately.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Even while admitting his mistake, Jon Jones couldn't resist criticizing Tom Aspinall. He straight up called him a quitter over the UFC 31 eye poke situation. Jones basically accused Aspinall of giving up when things get tough. He said Aspinall tends to shut down the moment he's hurt, instead of pushing through it, pointing to past fights like his loss to Curtis Blades and that ankle lock.
I noticed the profile pic change, and then you had some on your horse too, similar.
Yeah,
what's with that?
I'm just having fun.
You having fun with the eye patches?
I'm having fun with it. Yeah,
okay.
It's like, he had at it with me. He had a long time coming at me, so it's to keep the fans engaged.
Of course.
Jones also cleared up the mystery behind his profile picture. The duck with an eye patch. He explained it was just some playful banter. He was just having fun and trying to entertain the fans after Aspinall kept calling him out.
I feel as Tom's a great athlete, but I do feel like he's a one-trick pony.
Talk to me about what you saw in his fight with Gane, because Gane looked like he was controlling the fight.
With Cyril Gane?
Yeah.
I believe that his wrestling and jiu-jitsu is incredibly overrated. He has a beautiful 1-2. I got to learn a lot about his patterns in his last fight. Beautiful 1-2. That's really about it. He couldn't touch Cyril Gane at all. That's the way I felt. I felt like Gane was just getting warmed up. Gane's hands was down. He was shaking his shoulders, bouncing around.
He was touching it.
That jab.
He busted him open. I think Tom was looking for a way out, and he took it. He needs to change his game plan.
And get this, Jon Jones also claimed that Tom Aspinall's wrestling and jiu-jitsu are super overrated. He said he's noticed clear patterns in Tom's game, describing his 1-2 combination as sharp, but also pretty limited. Jones added that Aspinall couldn't even touch Cyril Gane, and he believes that fight really exposed some major flaws in his overall skill set.
Cyril Gane by taking him down, and he would probably take down Alex Pereira. So it's kind of one of those matchups that would favor Jon Jones. Now, Jones, of course, he's had a legendary career, and he is very well-rounded. And yeah, for all those people that are taking Jones' side and talking a little bit towards Tom, yeah, Jones went out there and beat Cyril Gane. He did. He beat him easy. And it did look like Tom was having a tough time in that first round against Cyril Gane. All fights are different. MMA math does not stack up. And I'm not sitting here defending Tom Aspinall. I'm just merely reporting on what Jon Jones said to you, just in case you didn't see it.
Michael Bisping, though, thinks a fight between Jon Jones and Alex Pereira would totally go Jones's way. He explained that just like Jones beat Cyril Gane with takedowns, he'd likely do the same thing against Pereira. Bisping added that Jones's really well-rounded skill set just makes that matchup tilt squarely in his favor.
It would be a blockbuster event. I think the whole world would come out.
It's a big card you keep talking about that you want to be on, a White House card, right?
Yeah, dude.
Who do you want for that? You want Pereira?
I like to fight Alex Pereira at the White House. I feel like he's incredibly respectful. I feel like he's a household name in America and MMA. Everybody knows who he is. He's a champion. He's in the conversation of being one of the greatest fighters of all time. It would be a blockbuster event. I think the whole world would come out. I've beat many Brazilians over the course of my life. Either way that fight were to go, no one loses in that fight. It generates so many millions for the sport. There is just no losing. You have such high level people competing who respect each other.
When you talk about the White House and having the greatest American fighter of all time, I mean, how can you have a White House card without literally the GOAT? The GOAT.
John Jones himself also wants to face Alex Pereira, calling their potential matchup the perfect main event for a possible White House card. He described Pereira as a huge global star, with massive recognition both in MMA and all across the US, praising his championship pedigree. Jones truly believes the fight would be a worldwide spectacle capable of generating millions. And he said an event of that magnitude wouldn't feel complete without featuring one of the greatest American fighters, him, alongside Pereira.
Yeah, it's interesting. When you have somebody that's, a physical freak, an incredible athlete, and a guy who has competed at the highest level, and then they start transitioning into a combat sport like this, it's very interesting. We're definitely keeping our eyes on him, and we'll see how this plays out.
How does that work? Like the process? I mean, he's got the look of a future star, right? There's so many things to love about the guy, but it doesn't mean that he can do it. So what would you need to see from him before you bring him into the promotion?
Well, think about this. Brock Lesnar came over here from the WWE, but he was such a strong wrestler, he was able to win the title. Now you got a guy like this with his wrestling background who's actually working his way up, in the smaller leagues, getting some experience, and then, he'll eventually end up here, and we'll find out what he's capable of doing.
Meanwhile, Dana White shared his thoughts on Gable Steveson. He really emphasized Gable's strong wrestling background and how he's been steadily working his way up through the smaller leagues. White pointed out that Steveson is using these fights to gain valuable experience, really sharpening his skills and preparing for the top level of competition. He added that once Steveson reaches the main stage, fans will finally see what he's capable of and how far his talent can take him in MMA.
Gable Steveson, he's a tremendous athlete, friend. He's incredibly humble, hardworking, disciplined, dedicated. I talked to him earlier today. I told him he reminded me of a lot of myself when I was 25 years old, just with a higher level of focus and discipline.
Yeah.
I'm grateful to be a part of his camp. He's exactly what I've been waiting for in an athlete, to be able to pass things forward to.
John Jones also had high praise for Gable Steveson's talent and work ethic, even saying he's ready to pass the torch to him. Jones noted that Gable reminds him of himself at 25, but with even more focus and discipline. He expressed gratitude for being part of Steveson's camp and added that Gable is precisely the kind of athlete he's been waiting for to mentor and guide forward.
He's just tremendous. I want to see him go all the way to the top. As of right now, I'm playing the role of like a brother, mentor, coach, but I've introduced him to my whole life. We have the same lawyer now, same manager, same agents, same strength coach, same swim coach, same boxing coach, same. I think he's really intelligent for seeing the way my career has gone and having the humility to come and train under us. And I'm excited because I feel like I'm at the tail end of my career, but I get to relive the whole thing over again. I get to be backstage again. I get to be in world championship opportunities again through Gable. And so it's really a blessing. And I'm grateful. Grateful to be a part of it.
Jones really highlighted Gable Steveson's potential, saying he wants to see him reach the very top. He explained that he's introduced Gable to his entire professional network, including his lawyer, manager, agents, and coaches. Jones added that Gable has shown a lot of intelligence by studying the trajectory of his career and really learning from his experiences.
Dana, what about heavyweight champ Tom Aspinall? And what was your reaction to seeing that? And how's he doing physically right now?
Devastated. I was devastated.
Right?
When your main event, and it's heating up, and it looks like it's going to be a really good fight, and then it ends with an eye poke, and that's how the fight ends. It's brutal. He's at home. He's recovering. And as soon as he's able to fight again, we'll book the rematch. Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, we haven't heard that there's anything. He doesn't have detached retina. There's no damage to the eye. So, you know, he should heal up soon, and we'll figure out when we can make the fight again.
On the other hand, Dana White confirmed that the rematch will be booked as soon as Tom Aspinall is cleared to fight. He gave an update saying Aspinall didn't suffer a detached retina or any serious eye damage, so they expect a quick recovery. The plan is to reschedule that bout with Cyril Gane at the earliest opportunity.
Sir, the whole world is changing. When I was a kid, the gold standard for reality is what happened. So in this case, it would be I poked him in the eye. Now the gold standard is not what happened, it's how did it make you feel, right? It's emotion. Something doesn't have to happen, it just has to evoke an emotion. And I think that that's a very strange thing. I fully agree with you on this. And by the way, I don't know that an immediate rematch is what the appropriate thing is. I get that's the direction that we're going. I'm just suggesting for you, I don't know that that's the right move. One guy broke the rules. Breaking up those rules cost the match. It would seem as though something stronger, even if I don't quite have the words, and I know we're not doing that, but I think that you're right, that perhaps in the future we should.
However, Chael Sonnen voiced some skepticism about rushing into a rematch between Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane. He noted that while it seems likely to be the plan, he isn't convinced it's the right decision. Sonnen emphasized that because a foul influenced the fight's outcome, the UFC should really consider whether an immediate rematch is the best course of action.
They're going to run it back really quickly. They could put it on MSG. They could put it on the end of the year. They've got Pantoja versus Joshua Van, of course. What am I saying? That fight already happened with Kai Kara France. They've got Pantoja and Joshua Van. They've got Marab versus Piotr Jan. Stick a third title fight on there. The final one on ESPN. End of an era. Go out with the bang. 3 title fights. They don't have to make weight. They've got to run it back nice and soon, I think, because obviously you want to peak in the training camp. Both men are looking good. You know, they can both learn a little bit from what they saw. We all know that Cyril can stop a takedown. Would he be able to stop them 2, 3, 4, 5 when he's getting tired? We don't know. But in round 1, he was able to stop the takedowns.
And get this. Michael Bisping shared an interesting idea. He said UFC 323 could have been an even bigger event if the promotion had included 3 title fights. He mentioned the rematch between Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane as one of those, with 2 major bouts already confirmed, adding that heavyweight title fight would have just taken the card to another level. Bisping also pointed out that both fighters likely gained important lessons from their first meeting, which could make the rematch even more intriguing.
I think we can all see on the pictures that the eye poke was very deep. Yeah. And I don't know if you ever had an eye poke, but it can be very painful. And especially if it's going to go in that deep, there's going to be damage. And even if there would not be permanent damage, even if it would be a bruise, it's very painful. Because behind your eye is about this thick, your brain is behind it, and it hurts. I think looking at Aspinall's face, you could see he was in pain. Now, I'll tell you this, if you're in a fight, adrenaline levels spike and you're not supposed to feel pain. So if you're in a fight and you feel pain, after the fight when those adrenaline levels drop, you're going to be in excruciating pain. So I think Aspinall made the right call to decide not to fight. And I think we can all be happy that he doesn't have permanent eye damage.
Alistair Overeem believes Tom Aspinall made the right decision, and he's just relieved that Tom avoided a serious eye injury. He noted that the eye poke looked super severe and painful, and he said Aspinall's choice to stop was completely correct. Overeem added that everyone can be glad Aspinall didn't suffer any permanent damage.
Maybe Tom started too much to calculate about. Maybe it's not much too good to fight him. Maybe next time I will be better prepared, or if something happened and he will win, whatever. That's just maybe about the mind, because you start to think in this situation how it can change the fight. So I really don't know. Maybe it was so serious in that. Ask Tom. So ask Tom.
Meanwhile, Jerry Prochaska believes Tom Aspinall may have overanalyzed the eye poke situation. possibly doubting his readiness in the moment. He suggested that Tom might have thought he wasn't prepared or could perform better next time, noting that such mental hesitation can really alter a fight's outcome. Jiri added that only Tom truly knows how serious the injury was.
It should have been a DQ. Yeah. I don't think it matters whether or not a foul is intentional or non-intentional. It's a foul. Any other sport, Tom wins. It's not a no contest. I feel like we give fighters too much leeway. Because Cyril Gane has fouled all of his opponents. He hits people behind the head, he eye gouges them, hits in the nuts. Like, Cyril Gane has a history of doing fouls, especially when it hurts his opponents. So I think Tom did the right thing. People will talk shit about it, but Tom wins the next defensive title for the next fight. No one's going to care about the asterisk.
Jordan Leavitt thinks the Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane fight should have been a disqualification instead of a no contest. He argues that a foul is a foul regardless of intent, and says in any other sport it would have been ruled a disqualification. Leavitt notes Gane's history of accidental fouls, including strikes to the back of the head and groin shots, and he completely believes Aspinall made the right decision by stopping. He adds that once Tom wins his next title fight, all this controversy will just be forgotten.
If the fighter that gets fouled decides to continue fighting, and it is shown to be a bad enough poke, no matter if it's intentional or not, it should automatically be a point. There shouldn't be warnings for fouls that actually can affect the rhythm and my reaction.
So, what do you think the solution should be, if there is one right now?
The guy, he say, damn, okay, the UFC paid me salary already. It's not like I got a double check, or got an extra bonus or something like that. Let me save my money first. Let me, the final contest, the UFC pay me anywhere the money they can get anywhere and fight again and do a rematch. Or maybe fighting with other guy and fighting next city game while me ready, considering so.
So you're saying this was a career decision, so to speak?
Yeah, it's career decision. Yeah, it's different. It's different. Like me and Aspinal, every people he say, it's different situation.
Waldo Cortez Acosta, for example, criticized Tom Aspinall, claiming he quit in his last fight because he knew he would still receive no contest pay. He argued that Aspinall had no incentive to take further damage, framing it more as a career decision than a response to injury. Waldo suggested that fighters in such situations often choose to preserve themselves for future bouts instead of risking unnecessary harm.
Were you just calling him out as you felt like you wanted to get that shot, or were you calling him out because you were able to continue from the eye poke?
Yeah, it's like that. It's for the hand to be a champion, and the hand quick because the pocket the eye too, and the third too because the hand is a training partner, and I do it with hand like a knock him out in the first round. Why is it happening that me and Tom Aspinall fight? Because he say Tom Aspinall, this is the one that does the best training partner. He can have it.
Waldo Cortez Acosta also took another dig at Tom Aspinall after UFC Vegas, mocking him for quitting over an eye poke despite being a champion. Waldo, who was also eye poked by one of Aspinall's teammates but continued his fight, highlighted his win over D'Elia, one of Aspinall's main training partners, as proof that he deserves the next shot. Cortez Acosta argued that if Aspinall is truly the best, he should step up and accept the challenge.
Essa é a melhor aposta?
Não, queria super luta.
No, I want a super fight.
Oh, super fight at heavyweight.
I can think of one.
Wow,
name.
Derek Lewis? It's Aspinall, man.
Bom, não sei se, Casa Branca, John Jones.
On the other hand, Alex Pereira is aiming for a showdown with John Jones at the upcoming UFC White House card event. He's super confident at heavyweight and is focused on making history by winning a title in a third weight class, a feat no UFC fighter has ever achieved before.
I don't think there's nobody out there right now that can really beat John Jones, but that being said, John Jones, he's very intelligent with his decision making of who he fights and his opponents. I don't think he was worried about Tom Aspinall like everybody thought he was, but he knows what type of fight he'll take to Alex Pereira. Come on, let's not be stupid. Mm-hmm. We know what type of fight he'll take to Alex Pereira. He's not finna sit there. Which is what? He's not finna sit there and stand and bang with him.
No,
I don't see it. I don't see it. If he does, I'll drop $1,000 right here on you.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, is your honest opinion that John Jones doesn't care about guys like what Bobby Green would say about, hey, we want to see a product, and he would just go in there and get the win, which
Look
is
what he
do
did.
whatever it takes.
Look what he did to Surreal game the first time. What's his name? Gunn?
Yeah.
He just went out there and just
made it look like he had no wrestling at all.
Yeah, that's the same type of fight that he want to give to Alex. He don't care about the entertainment. He care about his legacy only.
Now, Rampage Jackson talked about that potential John Jones versus Alex Pereira fight, and he thinks John Jones will totally outthink Alex Pereira. He highlighted how Jones prioritizes his legacy over just entertainment. Rampage commented on Jones's strategic approach to selecting opponents and making fight decisions, noting he was never genuinely concerned about Tom Aspinal. Rampage added that Jones knows exactly how to handle Pereira and won't get drawn into some reckless striking exchange.
If John really thinks he's going to fight Alex Pereira, he's getting ready.
Yeah.
He's at least getting ready in his mind.
Would it be Alex, or you think it would be
Alex.
really?
Yeah,
so the Tom ship has sailed.
No, it hasn't sailed, but the big money fight is Alex
At
and
the White
John
House,
Jones
right?
at the White House.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Catch weight. Make
Yeah.
it 225 fight. You don't have to be for a title. Make it the bad motherfucker upper edition. The John Jones Alex Pereira fight would probably be the biggest fight in human history.
I mean, that
in
at
MMA,
the White House?
In MMA, but as a matchup, you got the greatest of all time in John Jones, and arguably the most destructive striker that's ever competed.
Yeah.
No one's like that guy.
Joe Rogan, though, expressed massive enthusiasm for a potential John Jones versus Alex Pereira bout at that rumored UFC 2026 White House event. He suggested the fight could be the biggest in UFC history, describing Jones as the greatest fighter ever and Pereira as possibly the most lethal striker in MMA. Rogan really emphasized that their matchup would be truly one of a kind.
An MMA fight, you still have Conor and Khabib. That fight did 2.5 million views, 2.6 million views. I don't think that this fight would even scratch that. Maybe back in the pay-per-view days, like when it was doing well, but I don't even think it would have done that those numbers. There's just too much animosity. Conor was a huge star. John's never been one to deliver. Now, are we just talking in terms of the excitement of it? Are we talking, at this moment, absolutely, it's the biggest fight to make. I don't think there's no other fight that you can make that will get this much pop at this moment in the sport. But to say that it's the biggest fight in human history, I'm gonna have to disagree. But look, I'm not saying that I'm not excited for this fight. I'm absolutely excited for this fight. If you want to put this fight together, I would love to see it. And that.
However, Josh Thompson pushed back on Joe Rogan's statement that John Jones versus Alex Pereira would be the biggest fight ever. He pointed out that Conor McGregor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov drew 2 million pay-per-view buys, a level he doesn't believe Jones and Pereira could ever reach. While he acknowledged the matchup would create major excitement, Thompson argued it wouldn't match the global hype or that heated rivalry we saw with McGregor versus Khabib. All right, so that pretty much wraps up everything we wanted to chat about today. What do you think about all these wild updates? Let us know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this, definitely hit that like button and subscribe for more.